Fresh off of getting a 20-piece from Goddamn Fried Chicken. It's your boy Steamboat Sherm back feeding the squad. That's got my basement protagonist crew with me, along with some new additions in the building. Lavender, I don't know if you want to introduce yourself to the internet, give me a 2-second spiel, and what did you think of
I
this
enjoyed it.
movie?
I thought it was great. It was funny. Made you think a little deeper about things, about life, how we're being influenced and whatnot. Like a tinge of, like a little scary, but I was there, very satisfied with it.
Fresh, what you think about it?
Spectacular viewing, man.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe in all this conspiracy shit. You know what I mean? I don't eat KFC because I think they are trying to poison us. You know what I'm saying? And that's the perfect way to poison a black man is with chicken. The soundtrack was dark and deep and hit you with some contemporary joints. I really messed with it.
Well, I was just saying, since you're back tonight, what did you think of this movie? And if you wanted to give a little context of what Fresh was saying, because if we jump right into it, we can go a whole lot of places, especially with the goddamn fried chicken. But first of all, what did you think about the movie, and how would you summarize it for the internet?
Well, Big Clone Tyrone is a mashup between horror, science fiction, and blaxploitation films. It centers on a thug who finds out that he's just a cog in a machine used to oppress other black people. Solid film.
They Clone Tyrone is a hood classic, most definitely. It's something that I've watched at least 5 times already since it dropped. I think it's the new Friday. Fantastic film. 10 out of 10 for me.
All right, that's raising the bar high. You said the new Friday.
Yeah,
I think it's the
that's
new
top
Friday.
tier, top tier.
It's top tier, man. Top tier writing, man.
The show.
Lavender, would you describe this more of a think piece on the black man's plight, or just a science fiction movie that's like just dope as shit? You know what I mean?
We could go along the lines of both. If it's just a science fiction movie, then it was super dope for a science fiction movie. A lot of it had to do with, the thoughts and the conspiracies behind, what's being used to, manipulate black people, the straight hair, eating chicken, the grape drink.
Yeah, the grape drink. Yeah, yeah. No one's ever known what great drink is, so that makes way too much sense.
It's
Like,
just awfully tasty.
It's
the homie Joel Taylor, he pointed out some real stuff, especially with the grape drink, the black church. Honestly, it was all a think piece on capitalism, because at the end of the day, the what was his name, Keith Sutherland, aka Mr. 24, is saying we can't let you come up as black people or the whole thing folds. And it's kind of, I mean, that's if you're not judging it as a movie, you're thinking it as a think piece, you're like, damn, that's 100% accurate. You know what I mean? But just as a movie in itself, if I'm removing the black experience from it and just trying to think, like, if I was just like a dude from Nebraska watching this movie, I'd probably still love it and think it's all bullshit. But as a black man, I'm like, damn, that's too much realism. So it's kind of,
yeah, it's way too much for them. Yeah.
You would
yeah.
hope that nobody would be that nefarious, but given real life, the Tuskegee experiments and the different experiments that they've done on black folks over the years, how far fetched could this be?
What was the perm box slogan? Straighter is greater or something.
Greater is greater.
I was like, ooh, see, that one's not going to resonate with other cultures, but us sitting here, oh my god, that one hit me tough. Like, damn,
I'm offended.
because that's the
Yeah.
that's the poison they put directly in the black community. Like, hey, you don't look white enough, I guess. You know what I mean? Straighten your hair.
If you have used perm like continuously over the years, there's a chance that you could have developed cervical cancer from
Damn.
using perms. Yeah, it's a
Yikes.
lawsuit. There it is, a lawsuit against those perm companies.
Just for me, the perm company.
Yeah,
Okay. See, I don't see them commercials no more.
absolutely not. We kind of trying to. We ain't like my kids never seen a perm.
That's what I'm saying. I'm glad we washed that one out the black community for the most part. You know
Yeah,
what I
just hearing how that teacher cared about her students, that she was dipping into her gas money to buy supplies.
Oh, that's
I did like that they highlighted the perspective of street cats all the way up to like teachers, preachers. I mean, they just tied everything together, and then it was a direct correlation between club culture and church culture.
Mm.
So
Facts.
it was beautiful.
You start looking at this stuff and the way he's layering his story and in his writing, I'm just getting more impressed with the whole entire production. Along with that, I was impressed with the actors. John Boyega came out and did his thing with like 4 different versions of himself. Jamie Foxx playing the pimp was amazing. I'm pretty sure he ad-libbed 80% of his lines. It felt like he did, and that made it more hilarious. What's her name? Tiana? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that
Gianna
right.
Paris.
Yeah, aka Captain Marvel. No, she's not Captain Marvel. What's her name in the Marvel joints?
Yo. In the
Photon.
Marvel?
Ain't she a Marvel woman or something like that?
Yeah, she
Photon.
Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, Monica Rambeau from the Marvel project. Yeah, she was fantastic in this movie as well. So, and obviously, spoiler alert, the way it's set up, they're due to, the potential is there for a sequel. So, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it's a hot take, but as an actor, Boyega was all right, but I think in this one he pushed him up a tier. Like, all right,
I gotta say, I gotta concur with you on that, Sherm. That probably would be my only drawback. Even though I did enjoy him in the role, it was just something about his thug betrayal that was just a little off for me. The other, iterations of his character, he nailed, but Tyrone himself, it was just
Felt like a halfway crook, huh?
West Coast Tyrone.
His name not
No.
Tyrone.
No, Fontaine in the movie.
His name is Fontaine. Did y'all the end?
Yeah, the cat at the very end that's Tyrone. So that last 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it all becomes
the Crip guy was Tyrone.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
this was just a precursor to Tyrone's actual story.
No, I think it's.
I think they cloned actual Tyrone from L.A. and moved him out to Glen. Wherever Glenn was at.
They cloned the geneticists. They cloned the
geneticists and just put him everywhere.
Yeah.
One nigga I don't even know. I don't know. I think the geneticists. I think there's a version of that geneticist everywhere, every hood.
Yeah,
I agree with that too. Yeah.
His name, the geneticist, was Chester or something like that. Or
no.
The clone was named Chester.
The muscle clone
security guy.
Yeah. So. But yeah, no, Boyega held it down. To me, I think all of them. I see what you're saying with the West Coast one, but it wasn't. It was a taste. It wasn't too much. The gold thing, the gold teeth joints was crazy to me. But like again, I didn't have no problems with him. I think he held it down pretty well. I think, to me, at least in all the projects I've seen, including that weird one where he was like chasing aliens in Britain, that's probably his best one. You know what I mean? I don't know how you guys felt. Well, outside
Star Wars.
You say you still Star Wars?
Yeah, him as Finn.
I'm not really.
He can play so many different roles, man. He felt that
another one.
Attack the Block. That's the one I'm thinking about. I don't know if you guys watched that. I think that was pre-Star Wars. It wasn't. It was
pre-Star Wars.
What was that one about?
I've never seen him in.
Right, Lavender. He doesn't have a ton of projects, but Attack the Block was like I think I saw it on Hulu myself. I forget.
He's got one. He's got another one on Netflix where he's like a street dude and he's trying to come up with money to help raise his younger brother or something like that.
Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay,
pretty good.
See, I haven't seen that one. I appreciate his rise as an actor, so it was dope to see that. I think Jamie Foxx pulled off the pimp role as well. Honestly, I don't really know what's going on with him medically, but I thought this might have been some kind of tie-in to the movie. I don't think it is going forward, but that would have been weird as hell. But he killed this role, and to have him go down with those medical problems shortly thereafter only really, to me, added to the conspiracy and the, not to say they're tied in together, they're two separate problems, but in the back of my conspiracy brain, I couldn't help but to think like,
he got about like 5 or 6 roles coming out this year, man. So
yeah, he probably did just 4 years ago. For all we know.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of truth dropped in that movie. A lot of truth.
Yeah. It was truth hidden behind the comedy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it was double back what you're saying. It is nefarious things happening. Because you think about they juxtapositioned it with like comedy, but like chemical warfare You know what I'm saying? The dietary substances that we put in our bodies and all that shit. It's there to control us, fam. It is. You know what I
The
mean?
music, yeah, and I'm guilty of the music too because I grew up on hardcore gangster rap, and I would never let my kids listen to that shit, never. But you know,
It do make you feel a certain way if you listen to it too much.
But that's a natural thing though. Outside of like mind control and stuff like that, music affects how you feel. They use like in like psych hospitals and stuff like that. They use music therapy to help teach you how to like bring yourself down. Like if you're feeling anxious, you should do listen to this type of music, then this type of music, then this type of music to help bring you down
Actually
emotionally.
did the scientists, they did actually have a little blurb on it. Was the three main protagonists was going through the underground. They showed the guys they was listening to rap and they was fighting, and then they put on some hug me music.
Literally said
yeah.
hug me.
This music we played at our kids in our community is directly affecting their behavior. I feel like down the road at least, maybe not directly, but definitely indirectly. If you hear kill somebody, screw these chicks, all that all day, what's your mentality gonna be? So I get it. As a think piece in the movie, that hits me harder than it would if I wasn't black. So I appreciate the director coming through with a story like this that connects on so many levels and still tells a good sci-fi tale. Somehow he was able to blend the blaxploitation and the drama and the new age feel with so brilliantly. You know what I mean? I just feel
Yeah, I
like
didn't know what year it was at first.
what year was it?
It's modern day. It was
It's
kind of
modern
weird
day.
how they mixed
Okay,
the
because it could have.
70s vibe with modern day.
I'm not gonna lie. It's some of the things that gave it away. Well, I ain't gonna say gave it away, but like looking back on the story, I think that I knew something real crazy was gonna go down. So he's like knocking on his door, trying to talk to his mom, and there's only a voice. I know it felt like I've seen that element in other movies. You know what I mean? He took a lot of the great drama thriller elements and put it in his own spin and added to it and made
But
something.
that's real life too, though, Sherm. I mean, it's a lot of people that talk to their moms through the door. Luckily, I was blessed to not have that. But the mother who works too much and she just wore out.
Yeah,
A lot
no,
of people can relate to that.
for sure. Again, another double-sided think piece. So Keith Sutherland, that was supposed to be a U.S. government representative.
He was the muscle. His name was Nixon. And he was the muscle for the people.
Oh yes.
The government,
Yeah, the
Mhm.
people.
the man.
The man.
All right.
You know, any black movie got to have the man involved
Well, he
somewhere, not pulling the strings. He started doing that hooting and hollering, and it sounded like churches that I've heard growing up. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, man, he got it.
Yeah. Now, and
Mhm.
especially when you start screaming, fall in line. What do you say? Fall in line or some shit?
Obedience.
Yeah, control.
Obedience.
I'm like, oh, whoa.
What do you say, Lavender? He said it don't matter if your grandson got
Yeah, the
gunned down
girls
by
got done
the
now
corner
by
store.
right at the corner store. It don't matter. I'm like, I think that matter. I don't know about you.
Man, I laughed so hard when I heard that, man.
That sounds like it matters.
I know the music was fire. I ain't gonna lie, I hit Shazam a couple times on it. That kind of sets the pace. I don't know if you've been watching our channel. Obviously music is a big thing of mine here. I think it only helped in this case as well. Fresh, who did you say the music producer was here? Pierre Charles Desmond Murray. I think that what it was.
Boom.
All right. Yeah, no, for sure. They did a hell of a job telling the story. I think that's the easy thing to pull off, is when you pace the movie with the proper music and things like that, it only makes it better.
I don't
So
know. A lot of the movies I've watched recently haven't been able to pull that off. So
Yeah, it's a serious talent to be able
mhm,
to convey emotion through music, and they did it
mhm.
perfectly in this movie, man. Like the backdrops, the soundscapes were equivalent to whatever emotion you was feeling throughout the movie. You know what I mean? Whether they was playing 90s R&B or some dark, creepy, moody type score music or whatnot, it just felt, you know what I'm saying? It felt cinematic.
mm,
Mhm.
that's a big word for it. I like it.
You have was an Oscar award winner, you know what I'm saying, playing the sidekick basically. You know what I'm saying? Then you got
Yeah.
Boyega who was the head nigga in charge in the Star Wars films next to Ray. So you know what I'm saying, you got a lot of top talent there. So it makes sense just to go directly to Netflix and their user base to get it popping.
So not to veer off, because I do want to, get a couple more final comments on the movie. This is the second Netflix project I can think of in the last 2 years that was primarily a black feature film. That was just phenomenal. I ain't have really much bad to say on it. What was the other one where they were robbing a train?
The Harder They Fall.
Yeah, amazing movie. I've probably seen that one like 3 times. What were the downsides to this movie, if you had any? You know what I mean? Because no movie's absolutely perfect. I'm sure there was some kind of flaw in it. So I'm kind of curious as to what you guys thought it might have been.
As I stated earlier, I would say it would be John Boyega and his Fontaine.
You didn't like Fontaine?
It's that British boy trying to pull off the American thug trope to me.
You don't think it's preconceived notions in your mind because he's British?
I don't have any like malice towards like British actors or nothing, but I don't know if it was just a little bit off, man.
Oh man, I think the quirkiness of this movie, like right now, is so new to my head. Like I don't have any negative things going around with it because it's a quirky movie, and that's right up my alley. Pause. So, in terms of negativity, I got nothing for it right now.
So weird pause. Lavender, what say you if you had any?
I haven't been running into those Tubi movies lately.
Fantastic movies.
We're gonna have to, yeah.
So I thought this movie was fantastic. I don't have any none at all.
They had structure, organization, a script, a story that made
great
sense.
Actors.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Even if it wasn't like the best acting, it was still good acting. So
shout out to our Tubi content creators.
I'm about to say,
holding it down.
Tubi has rotted our minds, huh?
So I got much love for Tubi content creators, but yeah, you get to do whatever the hell you want to do, and that's its own lane. So, but for me, if I had a weakness for this movie, it's a technical one. Like I know you guys said it was shot well and things like that. I just thought it was way too damn dark in some scenes. I hate when movies are too dark. It's a very petty excuse for mine, but that was about it. That's all I got for this one. Drew, I would suggest put a little brightness, but I get why the tone and the theme of what you're doing with the darkness, but it just, I don't know, man. It's just not a practical watch sometimes, and you got to have the right lighting for this one to make 100% sense.
Did you pick up on the vibes between Fontaine and Yo-Yo, Sharon?
Not Fontaine. I would have thought what's the Jamie Foxx's character in Yo-Yo more so than Fontaine.
It was a love triangle.
Okay. I did and didn't appreciate how Yo-Yo's character was like basically brilliant, but somehow this is what she got wrapped up in. It's like, damn, that's the reality.
That goes into the nefarious nature of society. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of brilliant people out there living the street life. You know what I'm saying? Where you got to have a certain innate brilliance to be able to survive and circumvent the dangers or whatnot. You know what I mean? And like she was up there, IQ wise. But love story, I didn't see it, man. Could you expound upon it, man?
Slick Charles and Yo-Yo moved in sync. They yawned at the same time, and they bickered. You know what I'm saying? Like a married couple. You just got that vibe, but it was the way Fontaine looked at Yo-Yo. You know what I'm saying? And then even with him wanting to go wherever they decided to go at the end of the movie with them, I think that's going to turn into an issue for Slick Charles.
Well, Yo-Yo was Slick Charles' bottom bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what they was inferring. So you could tell they bickering and stuff because they probably been around each other for a very long time. You know what I mean? And that power dynamic happens or whatnot when you with somebody for a long time. You bicker, you fight, you fuss, you mimic, you do all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it's love. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying it's in love, but it's a love for one another or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? She's selling ass for him. So, you know what I mean? He obviously got a love for her because she's surviving his livelihood. You know what I'm saying? She let him pimple. You know what I'm saying? So, so more or less, you know what I mean, they have that dynamic. But I don't know. I didn't see the shit with him and her and Fontaine love triangle shit at all.
I got more like that Star Wars vibe where they kind of make him an asexual character. I didn't think he was really like romantically interested in Yo-Yo. I think he rocked with her like a sister, but I didn't think he was like romantically. I mean, he even insulted her, calling her a hoe straight to her face a few times. So, well, at least early on,
she was actively being a hoe.
I mean, it felt like one. It did.
Because we use the term as an insult for people who aren't hoes, but she was literally, that was her job description. So
yeah, no facts.
They're being on her LinkedIn. Ho.
I don't think he was insulting her, because by the end of it, when she was time for after you learn how smart she is or how open-minded she is, then you just like you can't just refer to her as that anymore, because now she's more than that.
Yeah,
and she doesn't want to do that anymore. She's like from the beginning, she was kind of like, I don't want to do it, and then she was doing it to get some money, and he was like, oh, I thought you quit, and she was like, I just need to get a couple of dollars so I can go.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you kind of know her character was way more valuable than what they portrayed her, or at least when we got introduced to. We realized she's way more valuable later because there's no clone of her, meaning she's not a cog in the machine. She's actually meant to have a purpose and do something, not just be,
Well, he didn't think much of her anyways. He thought of her as just a hoe. And just because she was hoe, she got put in that box, right?
Put in a whole box.
You're not important, enough for me to even try to clone you, because you suck dicks for a living. When in fact she was very smart, very intelligent, very open-minded. She wanted more for herself. She just kind of got stuck, where she was. But they didn't think enough of her. She wasn't
it wasn't overlooked. It was underlooked.
Yeah, she was she didn't matter because she was a hoe. But now look at you, not paying attention to somebody. And,
well, there's another message, because she ended up finding value in herself and a bigger purpose in it all. So, it
was always there, but who knows? You belittling somebody just because of something that they do because they need to get money.
So you saying she actually went from hoe to housewife? She did the impossible.
That's not what I was saying at all.
That wasn't what you said at all.
That's not what I said.
How did you get that shit from that?
I don't understand where that came from. What I was saying is that you can't just, judge people's whole, value based upon what some of the things that they do.
In that movie too, did you peep how scared the thugs was when they went in there with Fontaine and they thought that was a White House?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, we got a Goldilocks situation here, but they don't care about visiting this violence on another black person. Though.
How do y'all feel when Boyega kind of like, and I know it's for the plot, obviously, to advance the story, but he kind of just accepted his fate. Like, I'm a no good drug dealer. I'm a piece of the puzzle of the grand scheme. I'm designed to be here to, a chaos bringer. And he sat on that, and he relished in it, and that kind of sat with me too, because I'm thinking like if this were reality, I think a lot of people would sit in that reality too and just say, you know what, I'm
about to say that was really realistic, because when you get hit with something like that, right? You a cog in a machine. You not nothing special. You a nobody. Like, he had to find out that his mama wasn't real. All of that jazz, and so he had to really like sit with himself. Make the death of his brother wasn't real. You know what I'm saying? Like, to him, so he had to sit, in that reality and just like, and kind of deal with it. That would be hard if you found out that your life was not your life. You think that, I feel like anybody would have to like sit and really, you might not get up from that. That's a big blow.
Yeah, that scene with that scene with him and Jamie Foxx's character, Slick Charles, coming to the realization that Slick Charles said he never won with the players' ball, and then Fontaine said, "I never had a brother. I still love him." No, that hit hard.
So let's get into the real Fontaine. Okay, so obviously he was a scarred black man that was brilliant and went. How much? Obviously gets a lot of blame, but can he also get blamed for his position and doing what he did and just say, you know what, I'm gonna be a machine in the cog too, and just make these clones?
You
Because
talking
what
about
hell?
the real guy, the science
It-
geneticist?
yeah,
Yeah,
because
that's
like
just
we said earlier, the debate
Oh,
is
no,
it might
no.
be
He's
either.
Uncle Tom, fam.
whole
Mhm.
I
time.
got no. He's Uncle Tom. I don't respect at all his idea of poisoning his people. You know what I'm saying? Basically, put him under a certain subjugation. You know what I mean? That he's no different than the remember what was Sam Jack character in Django?
Mhm.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's a lot of black men, black people that identify with that type of mentality, though.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
is Coons.
So, what was his overall? Was it to basically eliminate, or I mean, he had like 4 people up there, each
So the
consistently getting whiter, right?
right. So I
That was
think
the
the whole
ultimate goal.
purpose was to uh morph everybody into being white people over time,
Mhm.
like over generations, because they
Mhm.
want peace. And to let if we eliminate the black people, which don't make no sense because there's Africans, but if we eliminate the black people, have them slowly morph into being uh what is it peaceful, just
Yeah,
leaning
docile.
into,
Mhm.
into the negativity of their lives and just slowly turning into white folks. So we don't have these problems anymore. That was the resolution. And he decided that he was going to assist with
I
that.
wonder if they are going to continue this, or is this just a one and done?
I think they did though. Didn't they show them like at the end? It was like they were
Tyrone,
somewhere else though, you know?
I
it's
think they
it's
went
So
off.
them on the
They kind of like,
news, they went
yeah,
off and did what they did
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
Memphis or wherever it was, and then
Yeah,
he
they were.
saw
Yeah,
on the news, you know,
he was
his
out in L.A.
yeah, he was
Tyrone.
out in LA and he saw on the news what was happening somewhere else. I don't know if that was the original story or if that was something new.
I think it was. Dang, that's a good point. But I'm thinking it was Memphis where like the second one happened. And now it's like, oh
Right.
shit, the clones are
That's
getting out.
that was my initial thought, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh no, all these people just all of a sudden came out of this liquor store.
Mhm.
Damn, that's messed up.
All these
Yeah.
naked people came out this liquor store. Where did they
Yeah,
come from?
or the church on Sunday, or the poison at the damn fried chicken joint. Like
Hey,
shit.
but you noticed that the church was the base. That was the main base, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
They
lot
had
of
that big old
symbolism.
elevator right underneath
Pulpit. Yeah.
the pulpit, yeah.
I noticed even the music got a little suspicious sounding when they went down when the elevator popped open and they went down. It was kind of like, oh man, like
Yeah, it went straight ominous.
yeah, like yeah,
Mhm.
you in the black church and now some BS is going down. Ugh, that's a tough.
Real.
I wonder how much blowback he's gonna get for that commentary because the black churches, people don't like to
Yeah.
hear that. Some of those truths.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, oh, you touching on church in this? Ugh.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it runs the risk when you touch certain hot topic items like church and other things that he did touch. You run a risk of alienating a whole part of the fan base that would normally watch a movie at this degree. You know what I mean? So we're on could tell, man.
I
Numbers
don't think
talk.
church. I don't know if church folks really watching stuff like this, though. Fresh.
And
I
to be
mean,
fair,
the age group. What's the age group?
well, there's another question, right? I don't have the data in front of me, but I'm one to believe that black people our age and younger, just religion isn't what it was for our people above us though either. So
Mhm.
I don't think the black church stuff matters to our age group at all and younger. Like an older crowd wouldn't agree with it as much as we look at it and go, oh, this is satirical, but it's also purposeful because it's definitely true is what's going on there. We're not,
Yeah,
to
they
that
were like,
degree, but the black
turn that
church.
shit off, throwing some Medea.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, well, they clone Tyrone. Wonderful movie, internet. If you haven't seen it, we implore you to check it out right here on the Basement Protagonist crew. I don't know if anybody's got anything else to wrap this one up with, but obviously it's a 5-star review for us. We all had to convene and come together to let you know about it. So we hope you agree.
Facts.
Yes.
And with that being said, internet, we're gonna wrap this one up. Once again, it's the Basement Protagonist crew, and we'll get at you next time. Peace.
Peace.